Joe. Hello. I just wanted to get this in because I'm off to Manchester tomorrow, lecturing at the RNCM, and you know what it's like if I leave it till Monday, it never gets done to Tuesday, and sometimes it doesn't get done then, and then it's Wednesday, and then hey, I see you on Friday, which is always a joy, and I love it. But I want to give you a video as well. So here I am, virtual me, and let's do this Haydn. I haven't got much to say about Chopin really. Just remember with the Chopin, just go through and you really we'll tidy that up now. Just go through. I don't know if you've got the tape that you want to use or just anything like that. That you know, just mark up those points that you really want to work on to polish it because it's really coming together. So this is Chopin, and this is not Chopin. This is Haydn. I'm lecturing tomorrow about Romanticism and Classicism and the difference, and it would help if I know the difference between Haydn and Chopin, wouldn't it? Anyway. Here's the video. Gosh, we're just having a gossip on the video as well as in the lesson. This is a good start. Right. Now, and it's marked fourth sounder. Do really listen hard to that because it's easy to want to, put all the emphasis there because it's moving, and then relax there. But it's really, remember that thing we did, and you can go through that exercise with the suspension, of playing. And that's really what the harmony is. And he puts his suspension in. And you've really got to listen to that dissonance. Sing it if you want. La da da da. And you find how difficult that is to sing. La. But that's. And if you take it out of the E flat, it really requires that. So make sure that forzando is there. There's too much to read into the word force in forzando. You don't ever want to force it, but lean on it. Just have that emphasis. And yeah, we're going to talk about this a lot, I think, in this video. But this legato technique, which is really working for you, do practice that legato. And think of them not as, we've done this whole sort of shaking the water off your fingertips, detached playing, but this is more, I think it really works for you if you think about it being legato with lifts in between, and you're really deeply there within the key. Because it's non-legato rather than staccato, that sort of detached playing, quite heavy, can be good. You might want it lighter, but not that, so do that with both of them. Da, 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 da. Be comfortable with that distance. Don't be comfortable with it. You're not meant to be comfortable with it, but la, la. You feel that. Forzando. Okay, that's good. What's really nice, you really change the sound here in this, really think about that. These long lines and these big long slurs, which are so different from the little fragmented thing. And I said you change the sound almost intuitively. Really think now about making a total, these two note slurs, a total contrast between and then so it's really lyrical, not in the rubato sense as we've talked about, but it's just a really singing line is what we want. And then through that, just do be sure those octaves are really going to break through. Remember, that's one of the things we started with right at the beginning of this process, isn't it? You do it really nicely there, and just really think about how dramatic that is. You've not had any octaves before. It's such a dramatic moment when all of that lyrical shaping just bursts through, and it should be quite a surprise. So that's kind of like the pan over boiling, that's when it happens. Alberti bass is going well. I'm really pleased with this, Just as a way of really controlling it now, we said there's that rhythm you can pattern. That rhythm you can pattern, that pattern that you can... Rhythm? I don't know. Sorry. Good luck driving to Manchester tonight, Worsley. There we go. you've got that which gives you the melody, but also, you know, you can of course you can do it that way, but with that rhythm. But also just practicing left hand alone, do be aware that you can really practice that now. It's time consuming, it's really good time consuming, it's time very well spent to put that emphasis then on each note. So you do the second one. Ah. You feel how difficult that is. But it's, you know, once you get that to practice, it's a really good way of getting your fingers to know that. Do it with the third one and do it with the fourth one. You see, and even in my practice, that's getting more and more fluent now. And as you get more and more fluent with all those different combinations, then you'll hear that's better now than when I did it a moment ago. So that's yeah. That's really, really good. Okay, so lots of practice on that, but it's, you know, it's time consuming and it's painstaking work. Painstaking work's really good for you. It really is, and I know you'll understand that because, you know, your work ethic is always just super brilliant, and I know you're prepared to do that work, so I can give it to you. Okay, just really shape that. You know, in each of those phrases, which is the top note? And imagine you're singing it. You know, it's really got to have that tone on the highest note. It's very, because it's a weaker finger up there, it's very easy to back off the tone, but you know, really make sure there is tone on that. And this spread chord, well, I'm not supposed to spread the left hand, but and we said, you know, you can move with it. Think about it being staccato, and you've got that finger movement, and you're moving your hand, and then, you know, you can practice just with not holding on to them, and then holding on. And once you've got that, then just noticing actually the top one is dotted, and the other ones aren't. Have you noticed that? There's like a crotchet there, and the top one is a dotted crotchet. So maybe there is a separate symbol which means you spread like that, which is not that. So I wonder if, you know, I wonder, but just have a look at the notation there. Maybe it's actually indicating you should do that. I've only just noticed that in making this video, but hey. But yeah, you can travel in practice, travel staccato, and then travel holding them down. But it was that fourth finger, wasn't it? The D. You really want to listen to that because the D is the bridge between the harmony and the melody, and that's what you want to feel. Okay, that's good. So that's the exposition. The little details now. This one, bar 80, isn't it? Make sure you got the staccato. You hear what that does to the silence, just oh. And you know, that silence also, of course, feeds in then to all the other silences. If you've got that silence there becomes more meaningful. Much as you've got left hand chords. You know, it really just holds that melody in suspense. So make sure that staccato is there at bar 80 and then the ones that follow. This is, oops, this legato style again. I practice that legato. And then you'll get your sort of non-legato by doing that legato technique, playing deeply, but then going into the key. Playing deeply, but just, sorry, the lifts in between them is what I mean. So yeah, more of that legato technique, exactly the same as you did with the thirds earlier on. Good stuff. Oh yeah, this one, bar 1, 2, 3, is it? And I would start there, you know, do some practicing, start at that point. What's the forte that you want to rise at that says, you know, this is enough, I've had enough, you know. It's kind of the moment of despair. You can't take any more of this repetition. And work backwards from there. You know, that's where you need to get to. And so that when you're doing that build up, going up and more. I've probably got too much of a writ there, but I'm just being, you know, dramatic. Because the weather's being dramatic. I don't know if you can hear it howling outside. That's how it makes me feel. But you know, it's that it is a great moment of drama, and you need to feel that. Good stuff. And you did such a good job with these repetitions. You know, each one of them, when I asked you to do it as a repetition, you realise that you really told a story. You know, with that. I put too big a rest in there, but you get the idea. And it's each one is saying something that the previous one didn't say. If you find yourself repeating a phrase in Haydn, or indeed in any music, and you say the same thing 3 times, you know that you can be, you know, more imaginative. That the composer's putting that repetition there for a reason. You need to find the reason. You need to really make that sing out. And you did that when you played it in isolation. So just make sure you're doing that in the whole performance as well, because that, of course, you know, that just helps you again go right the way through that line and rise up to that, which is, as we've probably mentioned, the top note on Haydn's piano. This is his highest note. You can't go any higher than that. So when he gets to that note and there's a pause and it's a scale, he stops there because he's got to the end. That's the highest pitch that he can express. And wow, you know, you want to make that a moment by having that build up right the way through there. Okay, finally, contrasts, forte and piano. So you're making sure, you know, you've got this lovely. And make sure you're really getting up to this forte, but not forcing it. And then really drop down piano. Oops, my middle C is not working very well, as you know. So that when you get that build up again, well, it's not a build up, is it, this time? It's a surprise. And then. And again, practice that. Because that's the kind of technique you want, and then just dip out of them. And that's one way to make sure your piano will sound. You can be confident to take it right down because, you know, you've got that deep sort of legato. So you can really make that. Really good job of that forte contrast, you can make a good job of going back to the forte, and yeah, you're done. Okay, and we'll get this all together now, because it's, I say it's great, but we just get these details and you'll be fab. Good stuff. Take care, have a good week, see you soon.